You're listening to the Staging Sips podcast with Lori Fisher. This podcast is dedicated to helping real estate staging CEOs build healthy businesses that grow, flow, and thrive. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy to be with you again. You guys are just like my happy spot. I love recording these for you. So anyway, before we jump into the 5 really easy ways to use an email list, I want to tell you about something that I think is so important for you to join. It is the Create Demand Workshop. We are enrolling right now. The workshop is starting on January 30th, and it will happen that whole week, every afternoon at 3 p.m. We're going to be meeting to talk about how do we create demand in your staging business? What are the action steps that you can take? What are the mindset things you need to work through in order to create demand? Because it's a balance of both of those, skill set and mindset. And the cool thing is that you will have the opportunity to come on with me for some live coaching. So if you are struggling with something about creating demand, you can actually have the opportunity throughout that week to come on and be coached by me. That's what's going to make this so fun. I'm not just talking at you. I am talking with you, and working through your actual problems. So join us. It's at rethinkhomeInteriors.com/create demand. The link is also in the show notes. So it's easy. Just click it, get yourself signed up, because I'm going to be sharing some bonuses when, during the Create Demand Workshop, we're going to be talking about Rethink You and opening up the enrollment to that. You'll get early access to that, and you will also get some bonuses as a result of being in the Create Demand Workshop. So I really would love for you to be there. So join us, okay? January 30th. You want to be there. Okay. Anyway, I digress. We are jumping into how to use an email list, 5 great strategies that you can use. So before I dive into the strategies, let me just give some background for those of you who may or may not be familiar with the concept of an email list. The first thing is, I just want to say, if you have an email list and you're underusing it, you're not using it, or you haven't even started one, it is a huge missed opportunity. Your email list is your number one best marketing tool. I talk about the concept of getting noticed, getting known, and getting new clients in your business. Getting noticed and getting new clients is super easy. Getting noticed is being out at a presentation. It's networking. It's doing a live on Facebook. Getting new clients is really easy when you have spent time in the getting known part of your business. And it's the getting known part of the business, which is a little bit messy, can be a little bit unclear, and where a lot of people drop off. We tend to get noticed, give a presentation, go to a networking event, and then we tend to ghost people, and we don't show up, and they forget who we are, right? So the email list is a way for us to not ghost people, and a way for us to stay in front of people in a super non-salesy way. And I'm going to share with you how in a couple of the strategies, super non-salesy way to stay in front of your prospective clients and buyers, so that when they have the need and it arises, you are the first person they think about. So it's really magical from that perspective. It's also really magical to have an email list because it creates some automation for you. So essentially, an email list is also called a CRM, a customer relationship management tool. And a customer relationship management tool is something like, back in the day, I had something called Constant Contact. There's Aweber, there's Flowdesk, there's MailChimp. Those are some really nice, introductory level email list providers, CRMs providers. So if you don't have one already, those are some really great ones. We'll list them in the show notes for you so that you can take a look at them and see which one might work for you. And it's different than using your inbox, like your Gmail inbox or your Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever inbox you have, because not only is it collecting a database of your business email, people who want to hear from you from a business perspective, so it's not mingled with any personal contacts, but it also provides automation for you. And in your business, your time, your staff time can get leveraged really quickly. So the more we can use some automation to make your services feel high touch, and educate your clients, your sellers, and all of that, the better off you'll be. So there's really that power of automation, which sets it apart. So let me just dive into a little bit of terminology. Again, for those of you who may not be familiar, and for those of you who are, just bear with me for a minute until we get into what strategies I have for you. So just a little bit of terminology. And the first thing is, we wanted to get you a branded email address before you start using a CRM. So a branded email address isn't actually, like in my case, my company's name is Rethink Home Interiors. It's not rethinkhomeinteriors@gmail.com. So that's not what it is. It's something like what mine is, Lori@rethinkhomeinteriors.com. So it's your business's name is just before the .com. And the way that you get that is when you register for your website domain name. So I went to GoDaddy and I registered for rethinkhomeinteriors.com. That's what I wanted my website to be. You can opt to have an email address created from that. And you can choose anything. It could be hello@rethinkhomeinteriors.com, info@support@ your name at rethinkhomeinteriors.com. So you want to get one of those before you get set up with your customer relationship management tool. But let me dive in and talk to you a little bit about some terminology that I'm going to introduce with these strategies so that we're really clear on what they are. So the first thing is lead magnet or irresistible free offer. So that's going to be just something free that you create. That's one of the strategies we'll be talking about in just a minute. So freebie, irresistible free offer, lead magnet. The next thing is landing page. You've all probably seen a landing page. If you're on any retail site and they say, hey, do you want 15% off? Give us your email address. That is a landing page. So in order to collect email addresses online, you're going to need a landing page. If you're collecting email addresses from people, let's say at a presentation, you don't actually need a landing page because you can manually enter those email addresses into your customer relationship management tool. So your online way to add email addresses is through a landing page. A campaign or a series is simply kind of what that sounds like. It is a series of emails or a marketing campaign that you want to send out, where you send out emails, a day or two apart. So, and they go out automatically based on your schedule. So that's a campaign or a series. And the next thing is triggers or tags. So triggers are, when you want to send a series for a specific thing, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, you can create what's the trigger that sends that particular email series. So is it that they have given their email address? Is the trigger that you add a tag? So the tag is an identifier. So if you want to trigger a campaign to go out for a vacant staging client after they've signed their client agreement, your tag might be signed agreement. And that is the trigger that sends a whole series of emails about, great, we saw that you signed your client agreement. Okay. So just a little bit of background there. And I hope already I'm not overwhelming you in any way. You may come back and listen to this a couple of times as you set up your CRM. Okay. So let's dive into strategy one. Strategy one is super easy, and it's great for when you're going out and doing your in-person networking, which is probably where most of you are starting, right? You'll be doing a lot of in-person networking. So when you go out for in-person networking, this hack is so flipping valuable, like the most amazingly valuable thing I can give you, because this is something that most in-person business owners have no idea about. So when you are going out and doing a presentation or a networking, you want to have something free that you can say to somebody, hey, I've got this free guide. I've got this free checklist. Would you like me to send it to you? When they say yes, because we always want permission to have somebody added to our email list, when they send you permission to do that, you are going to be like, great, I'll get that over to you. And when you come back from that networking event, you manually enter their name and email address into your customer relationship management tool, and it will automatically send the free whatever you've created. Now, this doesn't have to be anything fancy. Back in the day, my first one was a Word document. There was nothing fancy about it. And flash forward all these years, I just downloaded a freebie from Amy Porterfield, who is a multi-million-dollar online guru. If you don't know Amy Porterfield, definitely follow her. She's amazing. She's got a great podcast. And it was a Google document. It was not fancified. It was not Canva-ified. It was not any-ified. It was a Google document, and it was super flipping valuable, and it did not have to be beautiful. So you create something free that is simple. It can simply be a Google checklist that you send to somebody, but you use it everywhere you go, in person, online. Send people to it, because your email list, if Facebook goes away, if Instagram goes away, if they change their algorithm, you're not going to be in front of your same clients all the time. Whereas your email list, you can always be. Okay. So strategy 1, give away something for free. Strategy 2, send a series of emails. Simple, right? So you can create, one of the things that happens in our business over and over and over again is we onboard clients, right? For each of our services. So we have created in our CRM a list. So that was probably one term I should have shared with you, is a list. You create a list in your CRM. So in ours, we have our styling evaluation client list. We have our vacant staging client list. We have our photo styling client list. What we did was we created a series of emails in order to prepare let's use our styling evaluation list as an example. We have a series of emails that go out to our styling evaluation clients before their appointment. So when they schedule their appointment with our automatic scheduling system, it triggers a series of emails to go out over the course of 3 days, because most of our clients, their appointments happen within 3 to 5 business days. So we want to get those out ahead of time. So day 1 is, congratulations, we saw that you've scheduled your styling evaluation appointment. We're super excited to come and work with you. Don't be nervous. There are no divas here at Rethink Home Interiors, just a simple introduction. The next email is about how can you prepare? We may know you may be nervous and maybe you want to get started ahead of us being here. Here are some simple things that you can do. And then the third one is about looking forward to the appointment. And here's a little bit about what it'll look like. So we have this series of emails to kind of get them ready for their appointment. Those all go out automatically. We created the emails, we loaded them into the system, and we set the dates, the timing, so that they go out one day after each other. And we're done. We don't need to do a single thing. The client schedules their appointment, those automatically start going out. Then we created, in the back end of our system, when our client receives their selling success plan, we actually have a list for those clients as well. And that automatically triggers the next set of emails, which was, I hope you had a great appointment. We hope you're not too overwhelmed. Please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. And then a couple of days later, it's just checking in. How's everything going over there? Let us know what your progress is. And then the next one is, we're looking forward to seeing your listing go live. We can't wait to cheer you on from over here. If you had a great experience, please give us a 5-star review. And there's a link to our Google. So all of that goes out without anything manual. So it looks high touch without us doing a dang thing. So sending a series of email addresses, this is great. And so you can use this for even things like networking. I created a networking list so that when somebody is, when I do a presentation and we apply the tag that they were at a presentation, it sends out a series of emails. It was great to see you at the presentation this week. Sorry, we didn't get more time to talk. And it's very generic, kind of like it could go to anybody for anything. You can do things like that. Following up, like I said, following up with the client onboarding. There's so many ways you can use sending a series of emails. One of the things that we do inside of our system also is we create tags. So like if there's an inclement weather and we want to make sure that a client clears their walkways for a vacant staging, we can apply the tag weather, and it can be, and actually it's cold, it's snow. Actually it's snow. So we can say, send the snow email. and we don't need to send it manually through our email addresses. You just add the tag snow, and the snow email goes out. It says, we recently had snow. We just want to make sure that the walkway is clear for our team to be able to bring in furniture for your staging day. Right? Like, so it's like you can, oh my God, there's so many fun ways you can use your automation and send a series of emails. Okay. So that's strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is just sending those frequently sent emails. So again, this is using those tags in order to send emails to go out. So for us, we have emails that go out like to our design clients. They always go out at a certain time based on our process. So in order to just send those out, we apply a tag that says, they're at this phase of the design process. They're at this phase. And you can do the same thing with any of your vacant staging services or any of your styling evaluation services. You simply create a tag that, like I mentioned with the snow, you can create a tag that says snow, or heat, if you want to send the email that says, hey, it's been really hot. We want to make sure that there is sufficient air conditioning for our team for install day. Like just things like that you're going to send over and over again. You can create and use tags to trigger those emails to go. So that is like a really fun way to use your email list. You can also use your email list to send something new. So if you've got a new service that you want to launch and you have an email list, say you want to launch a new service that you want realtors to know about. If you have a realtor tag that you apply to all of the realtors that join your email list, or you have a realtor list, you can send them a new service. Say you're starting a new service for a home buyer who doesn't know what to do with their new house, and you want to launch that. You launch that to your email list in addition to creating your social media posts. You've got a warm audience there. Use it. You can introduce that. You can also introduce a change or an additional feature for your services. So if you have created a new resource that you provide to your sellers, so like for us, we created a moving checklist bundle. We wanted to let our realtors know that that's an additional thing that we're sharing with their clients. We wanted to announce that as a new feature. If like for us a few years ago, we changed the way that they can book with us. They can now do it super easily online. We wanted to send a series of emails out about that so that they were aware that they had this much easier way that they could now book their services with us. You can introduce a new promotion. One time years ago, we did a promotion where we were getting ready to raise our rates, and at the end of, like in the beginning of the new year. And so we sent out a promotion in December that said, we are raising our rates January 1st. If you want to lock in, our 2019 pricing, you can buy a bundle of 5 styling evaluations now. That was a great way to help with cash flow at the end of the year and get some revenue in, and people could buy a bulk, and they just used them up and they had to be used by May of the following year. So anyway, it was a great promotion. We could send that out to our email list. Super easy. Okay. So that's strategy number 4, introducing something new. Strategy 5 is growing your authority. And this is a fun one, and this is super easy. One of the things that we implemented that was genius was we have something called the new listing alert. It's super simple. Every realtor is always on the hunt for looking for properties for their buyers, right? Like, so if they've got sellers, they're also looking to buy. So one of the things that I set up years ago was this new listing alert, and we created a templated email, and we share that we proudly partnered with this realtor for this address, or actually with this service for this address. And we put a picture up of the listing, and it shares a bit about the service underneath, what service we provided. And this new listing alert is what I offer as my freebie for all of my presentations at real estate offices, if you want to be added to this. And the thing that's so cool about this is that it's easy. 1, super simple. 2, there isn't a realtor alive who doesn't want to learn about new listings. 3, very often we know about the listing going live ahead of the MLS. And so our realtors actually, we've got it posted before it's on the MLS. So our realtors actually use it as a resource. The fourth is because we share the realtors that we work with are the people on our email list who may not be working with us can see who we're working with. And to be honest, very often it's the heavy hitters. It's the award winners, the team leaders, all of that who are crushing it, that are the people we're working with. And so it shows people that we are working with some high level, really serious professionals. So that little hack right there is brilliant. And you can take that to the bank because you will get new clients from that. But you can also share staging strategies, tips, and ideas if your book of business isn't so full yet. But I want you to be thinking about that new listing alert and start doing it in the very beginning, no matter what. Super easy, not labor intensive, but you can share strategies, tips. You can share links to other like blog posts that you know about. You can record little tutorials using Loom, Zoom, your camera, whatever. You can let people know about a new reel that you have up that maybe walks them through some things. You can share testimonials. You can share case studies. All of those grow your authority. They grow your know, like, and trust, and they're super easy to do. Okay. So 5 strategies that you can implement. The first is give something for free. You can send a series of emails without having to send them manually over and over and over again. So smart. You can send frequently sent emails so that you've got automation there and it's not, again, happening manually. You can introduce something new and you can grow your authority. Okay. That's your sip for the week. I hope you have a wicked good week coming up. And I really, really encourage you, if you haven't already, to sign up for the Create Demand Workshop. Okay? Get your buns in there. All right. I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Staging Sips podcast. If you love what you've learned here today and you want to learn more about how to market and grow your staging business more strategically, I would love to see you join us inside of the Rethink You mentorship program. If you want more details and get on our waiting list, you can go to rethinkhomeinteriors.com/waitlist. Looking forward to seeing you in the classroom.